but let me tell you. This book, not out of Africa. Not out of Africa. Which is supposed to be this Greek book. This book this white woman wrote. Which is supposed to be the book, you know, you first had Stolen Legacy that came out saying the Greek shit was all borrowed. Plagiarized. Then you had both Martin Bernal came out with Black Athena 1 and Black Athena 2. Then they had a Black Athena Revisited came out. Anyway, but they waited until black people died down to the point where as they didn't they waited to the point where they wasn't into the Afrocentric thing no more, is like it was back in the early 90s. And they came out with one little small book like this, not out of Africa, to try to smash that. Anyway, they got a white boy up in here in the newspaper, right? But I'm just saying, I don't know, but see, what I'm trying to say is, I can't talk with a lot of with movement like that. That's what I'm saying, you know. Let's go on. Anyway, this white boy is talking about not out of Africa, this most crazy book that the white woman wrote. But this is what's the arrogance of the white man. The white man has the power to define and make it stick. And what I mean by that is, he can, what he can do is, he can just say some shit, and because he's white, it's supposed to be right. And this cracker in here is saying that Herodotus, who lived 2,000 years ago, was wrong when he said that the Greeks got their culture from the Egyptians. Now here goes a cracker.
Got the nerve.
Here's a cracker. In here, I'll read it, let you see. In here, this cracker actually says, let me see if I can find it right now, that Herodotus, who actually lived back in the time, was obviously mistaken. But they can say what the fuck they want because they're white. Right. And people just think they're right. Yep. But I'm just showing the arrogance of the damn white man. Which in the end, that's going to be his downfall. Because he thought that he done killed half the people off. And what he is doing now is this. Where he can play with these clones. They can clone this guy. He the main man over the 209, Proposition 209. This black guy. It's a clone.
Oh, okay. All right.
All these black people, so what's happening now, we are talking about a robot war, that anytime you go and fight some shit and you right, they can go and get a black person to counter you. That's a damn robot in any field.
That's right.
See what I'm saying?
Get it.
In any field. You see, they can get a black person to encounter you in any damn field. So now also what's happening is this. The whole key, we're still on hard copy, but the whole mystery behind this Bill Clinton, every damn 2 months he in some trouble with stealing some money or fucking somebody, is because the government is still trying to hang on to this vestige that is a fair government. This is how they mind control. So to take your mind off of over 20-something years after Vietnam and Reagan and Iran-Contra, you'll say, man, maybe this government is fucked up. They can give you President Bill Clinton and tear him down to the point where, as you say, well, this government is fair, they will attack their own leader.
That's right.
That's a science. Keep you still believing in the shit.
Right.
So they'll put him as the fall guy, and they'll tear him down, and you go, oh, this government is fair. You see what I'm saying? Whereas, in the past, the president didn't even have a blemish.
That's right.
A lot of the shit you knew about presidents is to after they left office.
That's right.
Right. So that's what the deal is. And he was unbeatable until he fucked up too much. But I even think that was a propaganda. It's a setup. They was coming off of Vietnam, which is the greatest fuck up in American history for them on the white side. And they had to go ahead and make like that this government was still fair by dethroning him. And every so many years they got to damn do that and keep some shit in check because the Republican machine was going so strong with Reaganomics until people would go, hey, this is fucked up shit. So to keep this Reaganomics and this conservative party dealing right now, they got to make a Democrat, which is all the same people. They got to make this mug look like a damn demon. So that the conservative side can go and raise up and say, now we're going to take you into the year 2000 by telling you to kill all niggas because they're dangerous. Now, that's what, now, what we need to do at this particular time from this time out is for me to able to go back and to realize that this Star Wars thing had a connection with the Clone Wars and come to find out that they got the jump on us. In an actuality, just about everybody out here you might meet, a lot of them is robots, including family members and all that shit.
That's right. Hello, hello.
I had to condition my mind into thinking this. Listen, your mind is a computer. And how you exercise is the way your mind will think. Is the way your mind will think. It's like you go to a barber. He used to cut in the hair the same way. So when he cut, everybody's hair looked the same damn way. Well, the way they can do with your mind is they can make you think on a certain level, and everybody will think on a certain level. And when you start trying to perceive things on the divine level, on the reality level, it'll always sound fucked up and stupid. So, had an encounter with a brother back in June. And we're not talking about a dead brother. We're talking about a brother that's very conscious. The brother's on the continent right now. The brother is very conscious. He's a sincere conscious brother too. But the problem was, and he was not arrogant or something saying he had problems believing in what I was talking about and my view of things. He just had a lot of problems trying to process the information so he could synthesize to a point that he could understand. And the Spirit told me to tell him, look, man, from now on in your computer, everything that you think of that sounds logical, rational, social, political, and right, say it's wrong. And start thinking of a bunch of crazy stuff. And then after a while, when you train your brain to start, if you exercise your brain and start thinking of a whole lot of way out shit, then the way out shit will become reality. And the normal shit will become false. So therefore, you can train your brain to go into the store and get this, and this will be just as equivalent to a World Book Encyclopedia, or just as valid as Diop's work, or a critical case study that the government has told you the way you got to think about knowledge. But you have to train your brain on it by giving your brain the possibility. What I mean by that is this. If you are in a certain room and everything on that room has a certain order to it, and you go into another room, that other room might not make no sense because you are only used to the room with this order, shelves being arranged a certain way. You understand where I'm coming from? And when you go in the other room, you say, this is a fucking mess. Or this is some crazy zigzag shit. You see, that's because the blueprint in your mind and the way you perceive things is your mind is being in a certain order in another room. So we're saying, in order to get this shit put on a different room, in this case, the most way out and crazy things, make them commonplace, and you'll program your computer to pick up shit till after a while, the stuff that's crazy will become normal. And it will be more intellectual or more commonplace. That strange shit that you used to think as the other shit is all false. You get where I'm coming from here?
Yeah, Jack.
And that's how you got to train your computer to look in the future, because we are totally 180 degrees opposite the way we need to be thinking.
Right.
So therefore, nothing that makes sense ought to be valid. You see what I'm saying?
That's right.
And the mere fact that you can bear witness to what I'm talking about now means that you have already started the training and been in the training for quite some while. And you can hear a motherfucker come up in here and give you some shit out of a damn science fiction thing. And you say, well, that's some badass shit and it makes sense. And that's the way they can train us, because if they train you to look in a room with a rose picket white fence and a house and beaver cleaver, and you got that blueprint, they can come and kill everybody around you, and you'll still see Beaver Cleaver. Ozzie and Harriet. The Brady Bunch. The Partridge Family. And genocide can go all around your motherfucking ass, but you got a blueprint that you see. See what I'm saying? It has changed the way you perceive the illusion. You get it? So we have to refocus our energy into thinking a certain way. So think like the motherfuckers is talking about in this book. That's why they train the little white children on this shit.
That's right, that's right, that's right.
And they got your people looking at a bunch of some of the dumbest people ever in the world. Biggie Smalls, Foxy Brown, Lil Kim. So your children is on this bullshit. And the white children is with and bought the Star Wars trilogy
Comic books.
for $34, which is $50 tape. They got them on sale down at damn Tower Records for 30-something. The gold pack. They got a $60 pack, but they got the gold pack for $30, and they buy that shit, and we buying this shit here. A motherfucking idiot on here with a goddamn cigar. See what I'm saying? So that's what they're training our people to be. Rappers and fucking idiots. When we supposed to be dealing with this kind of shit. And the little white children is dealing with this. And the little black children is walking around this motherfuckers trying to be cool and hard with their goddamn pants around their damn ankles. You understand why we are raising food and the motherfuckers still running our ass. Check. So we need to understand that. You know. So now, the movie that was written for Honorable Elijah Muhammad and to celebrate the Honorable Elijah Muhammad from 1931 to 1971 is how many years? 30 years?
31 years.
Yeah. 40 years. So the 40 years anniversary of 1931 when he was the World Almanac says they even calculate in 1931 when he was visited by Max Farad Muhammad. From 1931 to 1971, they made a movie on the life and times of Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And to show that it was a serious movie, they picked the serious actor of that day, and that was Sidney Poitier, in a movie called Brother John.
It's hard to get that movie right now.
Hard to get it. She rented it the other night, and I ran into it. I got an uncut version, smooth version, off of Cinemax one morning, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Listen, this is the deal. John is the Christian Elijah. So Brother John is Brother Elijah. Now Elijah was born in a small town, Sandersville, Georgia. He didn't graduate high school. He went to the 3rd grade. Brother John comes from a small town, and he quit school. But yet he's an angel, and he's been all over the goddamn world. And look, the man said in the movie, the white man said, that little man there, he's recording shit in that book, and it's going to affect the outcome of all our lives and what he put in the little book.
That's right.
Now, if you understand, Elijah is Enoch, early Hebrew, and Tahuti record shit. And then he had a bunch of damn manuals, journals, but in them journals he had but they couldn't read the journals.
That's right. That's right.
Because it's the Akashic records melanin.
That's right.
But it's funny because at the end of the movie, Grandpa Walton, same motherfucker cracker played Grandpa Walton,
That's right.
was in the jail cell with him, and he said, tell me how the end gonna be. Now that's, no, wait a minute, let's go back here, because we can look at the movie now and don't understand time zones. You've seen Bill Cosby and all these motherfuckers successful. But for a movie in 1971, before Shaft, or during the same time Shaft was being made or put out, for a white man to ask a black man how the end gonna be, will it be by fire? Will it be by flood? Then he said, well, what about love? Can we get out of this on love? And the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, played by Sidney Poitier, said that might not be enough. You see what I'm saying? You will understand that the cracker was real about that shit. They was waiting for his ass to die so they could start the Clone Wars. Brother John. John is the Egyptian, is the Christian or the Gnostic Elijah. 1931, 1971. They put the damn movie out. Better recognize. That's how the shit went. The movie Spawn. You gotta go check the movie Spawn out.
You just did.
Did you see it?
Oh, yeah.
Huh?
I saw that.
I saw
You gotta
everybody.
see that.
But one thing crucial about the movie Spawn. Certain things happen in the movie and they happen so smooth until we don't even realize. The book, William Bramley's book, The Gods of Eden.
Right there, the little paper bag. Right there.
Tell you that this government is run, he say by some aliens, but it's by the evil entities of Donald, which is the devil. Now in the movie, they had the white boy, the black guy who was like the top assassin. In the movie, the devil or Donald, who actually runs the government, tells the CIA, we want this motherfucker for us. And the CIA literally serves him up and kills him so they can get that soul down there. See? The key is this. They had the same cracker that taught him his powers, played Merlin in the damn Excalibur. So disregard he was a white man. First of all, they showed you in the movie that the devil up under the ground, or the devil in another dimension, who's running this shit, this evil shit, and the government is one and the goddamn same. They got, just like we got the spiritual realm of God, and we the physical realm, they got a spiritual realm of devils and a physical realm of demons. You get it? And they showed that in the movie. He didn't know in the movie that he was being groomed to be the Messiah for the devil's group. But the good realm came down and recruited him and taught him his powers. And they ended up making him the Messiah for this group. Now, a lot of people didn't understand the movie because the movie didn't go into a lot of action. But what they were actually doing was they were setting the movie up for a sequel. Now, two things happened this summer. Cracker's trying to get out of everything, even in the mythology. Now, in the Men in Black, they went through the whole movie, anybody saw the movie, and Tommy Lee Jones said, this whole shit was to train you so you can take over. I'm getting out of this shit, the white boy Bailey. The other white boy that was in the movie, Spawn, said, I've been killing it, I've been keeping this shit right for 500 years, but now you was an apprentice and we training you so we can get the fuck on. Very key that you understand that. The book is the #1 comic book in the world. A black man, a superhero. The guy who created it, Todd McPherson, comic books have stopped selling because white boys in the computer games. Todd McPherson said, shit, the only ones who were selling, white people start buying the black comic books because the black comic books start coming out in the early 90s. So the white boy, Todd McPherson, went and created him a black character. And now this shit is the #1 comic book in the world, Japan and everybody. And that's a great phenomenon for them to be looking at a black man. But he told it. He said, you don't know how to use your powers only when you get mad. I'm going to try to teach you to use your shit the right way. He said, your cape. They didn't even he said, your cape, you don't even know what your cape is capable of doing. They didn't even put it on this movie. But when they was talking to Martin Sheen, who played the devil on the physical, they was talking to him on a TV show, and he said, that brother there, he's a newcomer, and he's already set up, whereas it's like a cult figure. Like a Trekkie, they can do 6 or 7 movies. They say he's set for life, that the brother up in there, they're getting ready to do sequel after sequel with him. And they just set the first movie up just to do like the Batman sequel. They do more and more. And the technology was so advanced and shit, he could do all kind of shit. He was like, damn.
And he kept after that Holy Grail, didn't he?
Yep, and
That's
plus,
all he kept saying.
the main thing was, he was trying to get back to the sister.
That's right.
But they assured him, but hey man, that's the physical realm. You even got even greater shit than that to do. You had to get that shit up. But it was bad. So that's very cute. You understand that one. The movie Congo came out in '95. Was a terrible movie as far as it didn't really go nowhere. But the movie Congo was a movie that was talking about the making of the white man. The white man comes from a genetic ape strain that was grafted into him. And in the movie Congo, the apes was domesticated by the black man, the Egyptians they showed. Then the apes turned against their masters. It was the Yakub story also, just like the island of Dr. Moreau.
That's going to
Very
be
cute.
tonight at 6 o'clock.
Right. Now, the other movie to go see is conspiracy theory.
That's it.
Now, the key with conspiracy theory is this. First of all, everything that the man was saying, most of it was true.
That's right.
But what they will do is they'll set it up for moviegoers where they can teach the conscious white people, and the dummies don't know what the fuck going on because you waiting for motherfucking shit to get blown up.
Yeah.
Black people. So the way they did it was they made him kind of schizophrenic.
That's right.
That's to throw the masses of the people on. So you won't take what he's saying as valid, but the people who know what time it is, the shit was on. Now they showed two things that they showed in the movie 7, and they showed Death. In the movie 7, they said when you go check out a book,
That's right. They know.
in the certain books, titles, in the library, if you check them out, they want to know who checked those books out. Well, now this is the key with Barnes & Nobles. When I was up in New York, the original Barnes & Nobles was out of New York. The brother Bill Lilly said they had one store in New York, and he said, I don't care where you go in the country now. They got them on every damn block. You got 3 in Atlanta. What Barnes & Noble is a government and borders. Both of them. Because they got borders all up the East Coast.
That's right.
They got Barnes & Nobles in Indiana. They got borders in Indiana. They got Barnes & Nobles in South Carolina. They got borders in South Carolina. They got Barnes & Nobles in Atlanta. They got them everywhere. On the East Coast, they might have a whole nother 2 or 3 other chains. You know, other chains. So this is what the deal. What they're really trying to do, remember when he was dealing with the catcher in the rye in the movie Conspiracy Theory, and they didn't catch up with him until he went into Barnes & Noble and he was fucked then. They shot his ass.
I had him programmed to pick the book up.
You know, not even the program, because that's off the whole mark on how this shit goes. Because this is supposed to be some shit that you dealing with now. This is how this shit goes. Period. Don't matter. When you go into Barnes & Nobles, Barnes & Nobles comes into town, and they will come in and they will make it easy access, both them and Borders, that they have unlimited ordering, where you can order any book, any title, they will order it, both Barnes & Nobles and Borders, especially Borders. They do this so they can run the smaller bookstores out of business. Why? Because the government has a problem tracking, somebody get him, see what the deal is. The government have a problem tracking smaller bookstores and what people learn. So they'll come in and give this unlimited ordering, and they can give them cheaper prices that smaller bookstores can't do.
That's right. That's right.
And when they do that, what will happen is they can run those smaller bookstores out of business, and you'll have to go there, and then they can track who's learning what through one damn government store. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Through one store. Now, they done ran two badass bookstores out in Atlanta. Barnes & Nobles ran them out of business. And they had this bookstore named Oxford. Awesome. They ran them out of business. And the key is because they want to come in and they want to get a control over who's learning what. And Barnes & Noble is one of the top ones. So when they showed it in conspiracy theory, they were showing the people what time it was. Very key you understand that. You know, on what's going on at that particular time. You know. Still, there's a lot of stuff that was going on in the movie Life Force. So go back and check the movie out again and see what the deal is on that particular part. But now going back to 71, you got Brother John came out. You had Shaft that came out. Shaft represented the first movie with black masculinity in it. Because before that, because see, Sidney Poitier, the reason why Sidney Poitier was in more roles than anybody else is because of the West Indies thing that the white boy could come in and manipulate. Sidney Poitier was from the West Indies. So what happened was, just like you got that same shit that go down in New York right now. They will come in and they don't understand the relationship of this cracker. So what they'll do is the white boy, anytime he want to exploit some shit, he'll go to the West Indian community. You see what I'm saying? And he can exploit us through them. So now in the 1950s, the niggas said, fuck it. We ain't doing no more goddamn mamby-pamby, hold the white man hand rules. So they said, well, fuck y'all. They went and got Sidney Poitier because he was from the West Indies, and he didn't understand the game, and he played all the goddamn roles. So that's why he was the one that was in all the movies as the prototypical black caring man that's actually an advanced form of a shoeshine boy. You know, playing with nuns and all kind of shit. Living in the field and all kind of shit.
Come on, dinner,
what's the name spit in his damn face? A white woman spit in his face in one of the movies.
Patch of Blue.
Patch of Blue, whatever. He played all these movies and
Then he made another one called The Lost Man, came out right after Brother John.
Yeah.
That was made in Philadelphia.
You know, so he would do all those roles, and so they said, well, we'll use him as the prototypical black man that we want to do. Since they had all this protest going on, he became Hollywood. And that's why he made more movies. And so in the 70s, it was okay to pick up off the black revolutionary thing because they could make movies off the shit. So Shaft became actually the first black masculine person. That's why the movie, some people, you know, the movie, you got to go back and see Shaft every now and then. Because if you understand mythology, there's energy in that. And with the masculine singing with Isaac Hayes, Shaft is a good movie. But it came out in 1971. 1971 was very important because you had Attica. It went down.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? So a lot of this particular shit that went down, 71, there's always some stuff that's going down in pivotal years. So 71 was one of those years. So now there's another movie you need to go check out. Is go back and check out 1986, a movie called Crossroads. Which they bear witness, because Crossroads is all about the blues. Which one of the real blues legends of guy, Robert Johnson, what's the guy name, that sold his soul to the devil. Anyway, in the movie, now I'm talking about in Crossroads, no. Yeah. But in the movie, the devil was the leg bar, which was spiritual because they were saying that actually both the blues and the jazz came from the Bodun energy. So go back and check the movie out because the leg bar is not really the devil. He's the tester, the god of the crossroads. And that's what the movie's called, Crossroads. So very spiritual. You check that movie out again, 76, not 86. Very key that you understand that particular movie at this particular time. You understand? So, let's go on. Like I said, in the Clone Wars with Star Wars, it's funny because even what's-his-name made the observation of Logan's Run. Richard Pryor made the observation of Logan's Run in the middle of the black exploitation era. Logan's Run came out, which was a space-age movie from 1976, and it comes out, and there ain't no black people in the shit. And he made the observation, they must have didn't intend for your ass to be around. He made that in the movie, in the shit, Bicentennial nigga, the album. You see what I'm saying? That they didn't intend for your ass to be around. Very key that you understand that at this particular time on what's going down. Now, I want to ask you a question. How is it, based on the clone observation, how is it when we had less knowledge in the 80s and even in the 70s, interracial marriages was taboo? And we got more knowledge now, and interracial marriages and couples is the fucking norm. Clones. Straight up. Clones, if you understand what's going down at that particular time. You see. Now, they are cloning all prisoners now. That's the deal. Motherfucker go in, he through. All prisoners is clones. Let me give you an incident. You remember they killed a person, they killed this black woman, the Koreans killed this black woman in New York in 1990. They had a picket line, and black people boycotted the store. But this nigga, who was a school teacher, took his classroom out of school and drove a couple of miles across town to break the picket line. Anybody remember that shit? The black guy. Anyway, the guy had been in prison, and he had gotten his degree in prison. They had cloned the brother. So now, if motherfuckers go in that prison, they're not coming out. They're cloning wholeheartedly. Just about everything in the prison now is a duplicate. You saw that with Mike Tyson and the whole shit. You know, so everything up in there is a doggone is a what you call it. And also in the jail, if you stay over 2 weeks, they cloning your ass. Real key that you understand that at this particular time. So now they got this new thing in New York about the Crips and the Bloods being up there. And they got this new thing, which is, the Crips and the Bloods and the gang thing from the late 80s and the 90s was nothing but a mass government cloning operation to produce the drugs and the crack and all that. All that was mass government cloning operation. So now these clones are in New York City, and they got this new thing to initiate, they just go up and cut a person on the face. You see. So all your drive-bys and all that shit is cloned. And all the people you see in the videos now glorifying violence and stuff, that's elaborately set up. Those are clones now. Yeah. Those are clones now. Yeah. You see what I'm saying? All that. Lil' Kim with the red, yellow hair and all that old shit, them clones now. All clones. You see what I'm saying? Very key that you understand that. Now, dealing with the white boy, his only melanin was LSD. LSD, this new Microsoft with Bill Gates got what? 8 billion in damn 3 days or something? Yeah. Microsoft was invented when these motherfuckers was on LSD in the 70s. That's right. So even the computer shit with the advanced ideas to try to invent stuff like melanin, they got to be on LSD. Not only that, this new DNA testing invented by LSD. The guy found all this stuff here based on LSD. Very key. Now this movie, this show Cops. The reason why they put this show Cops on is to go around America to show mainly black people as the norm as being out of control. Right. Not so much, so therefore President Iowa can get this same mentality. So the country can justify, but not only that, this shit goes to Paris, around the world, and everybody see this shit. You see? about the whole cops thing. Cops was even in Mullins, my hometown in South Carolina. Damn cops was down there, the damn TV show Cops. Down there, because they got the biggest drug problem ever down in these smaller towns. So just like they got a documentary that came on HBO, they're killing people around the clock right now in Kansas City.
Yeah.
They dying like duck flies. And so they have neutralized the bigger cities and the smaller cities now. From like Kansas City and on down to nook and cranny places. Small towns. They're killing people around the clock. They had a documentary on HBO about it. How they're killing them about that. Now, like take for instance, another way on government control is this whole thing where you see on the TV where they go, I got some news, I'm going to turn it into the paper. And the people be fighting because they don't want somebody to turn something into the media. That's bullshit. That never happened. The media get all the good shit first. Because people think that they can do that. But the media is on one AP wire and they print one truth. And they got shit called the vent where you can vent your own frustration. So my girl was on that for like 3 weeks, hearing all the news. And 98% of the people that call in is racist. And just like and it's like, because she's from California, they think she's white with an accent. And it's just like every white person that calls in that you think is normal. Once they're around white people and they thought she was white, they say all kind of fucked up things about black people. All kind of messed up things. In there, somebody called in, which is bearing witness to Hilton Holtima's book, and Devil Blair, if you get his man lectures and woman lectures, about how a man can have a damn baby. In there, somebody called in and was mad. And was saying, it cut off. Yeah. Somebody's tape player cut off. Whose is that? Mine. In there, a girl was on the end, and somebody called in because they was mad because, well, I want to let her get this. You ready? Yeah. Somebody called in because they was mad because they wanted to know why the Atlanta Journal had killed the story of this boy being pregnant in South Georgia. You see. Which the shit can happen. A man can, you got to get Hilton Holtima stuff on the real mysteries and origin of the sexes. But if you can't, you got to get, what's his name book? Tape. The man lecture.
Called Rabbit Test.
With Devil Blair. But anyway, somebody called in that was mad because a boy had gotten pregnant in South Georgia. Gotten pregnant in South Georgia. So let's go on.
Somebody got pregnant in Egypt too, wasn't it? It was on the news. A boy was pregnant. He had his twin brother in him. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember that story. Not long ago.
Right.
They said something was eating his.
But they did a movie, or a TV series.
But it doesn't happen.
They did one with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Remember?
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Oh, Alien.
And then back in the 70s, they did Rabbit Test.
Yeah, the men have the women. I mean, the men have the babies in alienation.
Alienation. Okay, let's go on. In the Hermetic text, which is very key, this is just profound, because it bears witness what the Nation of Islam was saying.
Sliders did one too.
Yeah, it sure did. It bears witness what the Nation of Islam was saying. Also, Arnold Schwarzenegger did a movie called...
Yeah, he got pregnant.
Yeah, where he was pregnant.
Yeah, he was pregnant.
What was the name of that?
Something. Anyway, in the word hell is another word that got blew out of proportion, like love shit. The word hell. The word hell, based on the Hermetic text, because you got to take shit back to the oldest thing. So the oldest material in the world is the Hermetic text. That's as old as you get. So motherfuckers start all of that goddamn religion shit. You go back to Atlantis on his ass. Now, the only Atlantean material to survive was, the stuff that they recorded was the Hermetic text. It came out, that was recorded into Latin and into Greek. Greek and Latin was the Hermetic text, which goes back to Atlantis. Now in this, the word H-Y-A-L later on became the word H-E-L-L, and it was when it meant a name for the earth. So this is hell.
Thank you.
Yes, hello.
Hell is low.
So now, this shit, this is hell. Right here. The earth is hell. Even though, we've been saying this, we live in hell. This is verification. But it also says that heaven, just like Dr. Ben, is up under the goddamn earth. With Osiris. That's heaven. But it also says that the cosmos is the damn devil. That's why in the Gnostic text they say when you look to heaven in the sky, the birds will get to heaven before your ass will. And we'll get into that explanation in a minute. It just meant that the heaven realm had to come down here and be born again in the earth and inside our brains to kill it from inside out, to bring about a new beginning, birth, the hidden God, the seed. Any kind of seed has to go inwardly. And so the heaven is down. You see. Heaven is actually down. You see what I'm saying? So now, let's go on with some other stuff and see what we got here. Let's see here. In this book, last time I talked to you, I told you of a book, and I saw it at Borders the other day. It's called Mystic Trends in Jewish Mysticism. And there's two of them. There's one called Major Trends in Jewish Mysticism by Gershom Schroeder. That's an advanced intellectual book. Then there's one called Mystic Trends in Jewish Mysticism. That's the one so the one I'm talking about is Mystic Trends by Arnold Posey, P-O-S-S-I. Now in that book, it talked about that Satan will allow this woman, and this red-haired, hairy one will be born with hair all over, and he will rule the world. This evil one, which was a white man. I said that the last time. Now in the Moses mystery, in this section, or you can just get your Bible in Genesis, in this section of Jacob and Esau, Esau was born with hair all over and was the evil one. So right there, red hair, which was the evil one. So right there in your Bible is also bearing witness to that damn white man again, being the evil one with red hair. You see what I'm saying? But this the Moses mystery, but it's right there in your Bible of Jacob and Esau. You see? And that type of thing.
Bobby,
Yeah.
tell who is by Moses Mystery.
The Moses mystery is by Gary Greenberg. Gary Greenberg, which breaks up that whole bears with the African origins of the Jewish people. So that's mark chalk up one for our side at this particular time. Chalk up one for our side. Let's see what else we got here. Going right along. Something else real good. Like I was saying again, that most of the music now, you can't dance off rap anymore. It's a very low tempo, cool stuff. And once they get you so that you can't dance, you can't move, and you can't get into an altered state. You see, there are some tapes. There was a good tape I bought on astral projection. And they talked about different ways to astral project. And they were saying that sometimes runners will be running, and when you're running and breathing, they astral project. So dancing puts you in an altered state of dimension, altered state of consciousness. So the way the rap is now is very low. You can't dance to it on a high energy level. But if you go to Europe, they jamming, like we used to do here. And so therefore, it destroys the melanin. Plus with all the other bullshit they put into it. Plus it's very egotistic. And it destroys the melanin. You see what I'm saying? Very key to understand that at this particular time. So now, let's go into, you want to go to a break, or you want to keep on going, or what? How you want to do it?
Well, how much you got on this tape?
How much you got on your tape?
Oh, this is the new tape.
New tape. But I'm just saying, what, it depends. We'll just go on. I'm going to get through this Kabbalah, and then we'll go on a break. Then we'll go, no. Or do you want to take the break now?
What's everybody saying in there?
It's up to you.
I think it should be.
No, it's up to you. Y'all want to take a break? Y'all hungry?
Take a break.
Huh? No, I'm good to go all night. Right now, so. No, I'm just saying, I'm good to go as far as, So it depends on what you want to do.
Go another half hour, then we can break.
Okay. Okay. Let's deal with this. Dealing with Jeremiah in his book Ancient Egypt, he talked about the mystery of the scarab and the weighing disc. And what we're dealing with right now is this. What we're dealing with right now is this. In the weighing disc, the scarab is a dung beetle, but later on it grows wings. What is happening with our spirit is this. You get a certain age, you grow beard, you grow a beard, you grow pubic hairs and different things like that. Well, it's the same way when you grow your Christ level back. You have to grow into it. But in this case, it doesn't have anything to do with what age you get. Otherwise, we'd all grow up and be Christ. But it means what age the race gets. You get it? So now, based on the age that the race is, we'll just get to the point, just like growing a beard, this Christ consciousness is going to grow in. Which, it ain't just, it's what we've been going through the last couple of years is the growth process, getting ready to just, one day you woke up, your period just started. Good example. Just like that. So this is what we're talking about based on this particular Christ consciousness at this time. Now, I want you to get the movie Hamlet. There's two versions of it. There's the Mel Gibson version, came out in '91, and there's another version came out in January with the guy Kenneth Branagh from England. But anyway, Hamlet is based off the Osirian drama and Horace. Now, what the deal is this. In the movie Hamlet, his father dies. His father is the king. His father dies, and his brother ends up marrying the mama. Marrying his mama. And in the movie, his father, some of his friends come and tell him that they saw his father, and his father was a ghost. And the father comes to him and tells him that he was conspired upon and killed and murdered by the brother and the whole 9 yards, and that he must avenge his death. Now, we know that Shakespeare wrote this, and Shakespeare got access to a lot of shit. Mainly, he plagiarized a lot of Moorish shit. That's where the shit, anytime you see that cracker shit, where it come from, that shit came from the Moors. Now, the Hamlet thing, he just took from the Horus thing, because the word ham means black. You see, the black. So that's what Hamlet is, just like Othello. He just took these ancient stories. Othello was the other form. Othello was the other form of the Samson story. See, what they don't tell you about the Samson story is Samson was fucking around with Delilah, but she was of another race.
The last Othello, they had the black guy in it.
Yeah, she was a Philistine.
Yeah.
She was a Philistine. She was of another race. So he took the Samson verdict and they split it up with the hair and all, and she just ended up, he just made it Othello. You see what I'm saying? So that would be Othello Samson, Orenthal Simpson. Shit is real deal, how the shit went. Because a lot of this stuff was written in the ancient papyrus, which I'm going to show you tonight when we get into the Hermetic teachings, some more shit. Now let's go on, because I want to show you this. Anyway, he took the Horus myth and made Hamlet, just like he took the Samson thing and also made Othello with it. You see what I'm saying? Othello with it. He took that and all. Because Samson supposed to have lost his energy when she cut his hair. She cut his hair through sex. When he lay with the white woman, he got his melanin fucked up. That's why they go ahead and marry them white hoes, because they take their strength and everything else from him when they fuck with the white woman. And he was blind and couldn't see. That was the whole conscious thing. It was the third eye and all of that. So it was a whole metaphysical thing with the Samson thing. Before they turned it into a historical thing with the Jews, it was mythology explaining physics. Now, let's go on. And this is what we're talking about at this particular time. One night, there appeared to Horus in a dream and a vision his father Osiris. A ghost urged him to overthrow Set, whom he had been treacherously put to death. And Horus vowed to drive his wicked uncle and all his followers out of Egypt. So he gathered together his army together and went into battle. Set came against him at Edfu and slew many of his followers, but Horus secured the aid of tribes and who had remained faithful to his father Osiris and Isis. And Set was again attacked and driven towards the eastern frontier. Now, the upper and the usurper uttered a great cry of grief, and he was forced to take flight. He rested in Zarzu, and there was a last battle and fight, and was waged for many days, and Horus lost the eye, but Set was more grievously wounded, and he was at length driven and his army out of the kingdom. Now, at the footnote, the white boy in this book, Donald A. Mackenzie, says that this is the earlier form of the Hamlet myth. So to understand this Horus mythology, you got to go get Hamlet. Very key, because Shakespeare wrote a lot of that shit. He just basically took it and plagiarized it. There was Egyptian plays and Greek plays, and these motherfuckers ain't breed my ass. They're about to just sit down and plagiarize shit. It's the same thing with classical music. Classical music came out of ancient Egypt.
That's right.
And they stole the shit with all the strings and the violin and all that shit. They just made it into their form, but what happened was Duke Ellington and them, with the Bowdun energy that hit out of New Orleans and them came back and redirected that classical music back into jazz, the original shit, the way that shit was in Egypt. You see, very key that you understand that at this particular time. So let's go on. Got some couple other things we're going to deal with in a few minutes, but let's see what we got here. The Kabbalah. Moses is, like I told the brother, was having this conversation about the genealogy, and I told him there ain't a motherfucker in the Bible historical. The shit never existed. They just copied the shit verbatim from Egyptian deities. Moses is Tahuti.
That's right.
The 5 books of Moses is the 5 elements: air, water, fire, and earth. Those are the 5 books of Moses. You see.
That's 4.
The four books. The 5th is man. 5 elements. You saw the movie 5th Element. That's the goddamn Torah. The Torah is the archetype of the collective unconsciousness. The word Torah comes from the goddamn word tarot.
That's right.
Same shit. Torah, tarot. You see? The 5 books of Moses is 5 elements. The neophyte or the common person reads that moralistic shit and think it's got something to do with it. The priest come in and in 5 minutes say, it ain't got shit to do with more moralistic shit. You being obedient to God. It's about your soul and the 5 elements culminating in the 5th. The 5th is the man. The 4 different elements, and the 5th being man. And all. Which is the Torah, is the Akashic records. In the Hebrew prophecy, they said in the last days, every man and woman will be able to read from the Torah. But we know that every man and woman can't read. But it wasn't talking about reading the physical Torah book, it's talking about reading from the Akashic records.
Right.
Then there's another Hebrew mystery about reading the white. The Torah got a white Torah. And it's talking about not only will you be able to read the black letters on the page, you'll be able to read the white spaces in between the pages, which links it together. That's the force that binds you together. That's why a drum beat in the Vodun drums is not the beat, it's the spaces in between the down beat, which is the spirit.
As well as time.
It's the spaces in between the beat. So, reading from the white Torah is bridging the gaps where the stuff from the invisible world, which is the real world, will come into the visible world, which is the false world, and merge together, and you'll be back open again when the Cosmic records join together with melanin kicking in. You see what I'm saying? With melanin kicking in. But the force in Star Wars that Yoda tells you binds us together. Now, it's interesting, because I'm on the internet, and I get some shit called Star Wars in Hinduism. And in Hinduism, the young initiate has to go out in the forest and find the guru. Yogi master, Yoda. He has to find the guru to teach him. You see what I'm saying? Yoda tells him that the force binds us together. In the Hermetic tradition, 6, 6, 6, 6 protons, 6 electrons, 6 neutrons binds us together. The force is carbon, which is melanin. You see what I'm saying? Binds us together. Anyway, he got his shit straight from doggone the whole Hinduism or just the mystical yogi side. Now the key is this. When he goes to see Yoda, he doesn't know that Yoda is the Jedi master. So he see this little man running around. He tell me, get out of there. He thinking, this is a little old thing here. And in the end, he don't realize that this man is the Jedi Master. The whole key what broke down is Darth Vader was a student of Obi-Wan Kenobi. But Darth Vader, when he went up against the Emperor, which was Adalabroth, he gets fucked up and had to turn to the dark side for the simple fact, when he trained him, he did not train him to be humble. So he's a great fighter, but he was not humble enough to get past the damn devil. But Yoda was a little short man like that. So when he trained you to be humble because you look at him, he's a little short man this big. But yet he changed Jedi Master for 700 years. So Yoda just represents that humble being. You see what I'm saying? Just like you see the little short man, Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And that's why Dr. Ben and them hated his guts. So why you hate this man's guts? Because he had a 4th grade education. He's talking about spaceships and all this kind of shit. And that's the shit we into now.